just beyond the home now, looking back, and as we turn around, headed towards the far end of the property, we approach a small brook that trickles down from a spring up in the hillside. You can see the path of the stream up through there, and we'll be crossing on a board here, and the little spring trickles all the way down to the lake below. Crossing the brook, the spring, we enter the forested area of the property, which is a makeup of large birch, pines, I believe some maple, and most likely there's some beech in here, popple. And we're following what I believe probably is an old logging trail. The far property line is well beyond what we can view from this vantage point through the trees, and we'll take you down towards that corner and come back along the lake. Looking back towards that opening, just beyond that is where we cross the brook. And we stand here looking down at the lake down below. And here on the hillside, at this point the property line is angling down to meet the lake. Part way up the hill, the property line runs across and angles down to a point down on the lake some distance further on. And the red flagging on the trees here indicates that I am standing near the far end of the property, which would be probably the southeastern corner of the property, or the eastern corner. I am along the lake shore of Long Lake, out across the lake, and down the lake this way. And I will actually walk back the full length of the lakefront just to get a sense of how far that is. In the process, I will try to keep this camera as steady as I can. Looking right down the length of the lake now, past the other homes. The lake bends around that point slightly there, and on down, ending near Old Indian Trail along M22. You see, looking at the shoreline here, that it is heavily traveled. Not by humans, mind you, but by deer that come down to the lake quite regularly for drinks. Long Lake is approximately 25 to 30 feet deep, sandy bottom. It's about half a mile from Crystal Lake and probably about a mile and a half to 2 miles from Lake Michigan. Surrounded by low hills, good perch fishing, great smallmouth bass fishing, and I understand there's some pretty good pike fishing as well. Continuing on here, we're probably through the first 200 feet of frontage on this roughly 700 foot parcel on Long Lake. The foaming action is not due to detergent so much as due to tannins in the water from the surrounding cedars. They essentially soften the water. Similar phenomenon occurs in the UP and many rivers, including at Tequamanon Falls. At this point, I've probably reached fairly close to the midway point on the property. I've got to jog over and under and around a couple of trees here, so I'll go through this opening. My apologies for the video work. And we'll follow on through here. We're approaching the area that's cleared near the home, out in front of the home. And before long we'll come up on the trickling spring where it comes down off of the hillside and meets the lake. And that's just up here ahead. And here's where the spring trickles out of the hillside and runs down into the lake. And we're now down below the cleared area of lawn around the house. Moving my way along towards the property line, could be the west or north property line. And there's a stairway, stairs built here, steps to get down to the lake from the home. And as we near the end of the waterfront, you'll see the neighboring docks beyond, and the post up here signifies the property line. So very near to this birch tree. Another look at Long Lake, an early September evening.